What's up, sir? I just sent you a link over. What's up? What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us. I believe I just sent over Lewis. Let's get Lewis in here with us.
Mr. Des,
What's up, sir?
how are you doing today?
Not too bad.
We're back.
We're back live from the backyard.
Well, let me say what a pleasure it is to be with a fellow. Well, let me not spoil it. I'll let you do it. But
Yeah, man.
very excited. Very excited. So go ahead. I'll let you take over this one.
What's up, Coral? So some stuff we wanted to talk about. We got some good things going on this week and coming in the future and going on. So we just wanted to share. We know it's a Father's Day weekend and we've been doing these lives every Sunday, but didn't want to spoil anyone's Father's Day weekend. So we figured we might as well get a quick live in this week. You know what I mean? Keep it going.
Yep. And
Yeah.
Mr. Des had a shark bite today, too.
Yeah, man. Look at my finger. Look at that thing.
What type of shark was it?
It was a big one. It was a big one.
you gotta make the
Look
story.
At that thing.
You gotta
Look
juice it. Might
dude.
as well juice it up the story, man.
My wife has to give it some love. It's not looking good. Unicorn, what's up to the dads in the house? Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Hey, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Happy Father's Day. Let's see who's in here. We got Zoa Tank Boys. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, hold on. We got Lil Arabian Jr. My pops told me to watch on. Oh, man, that's amazing.
He got a little baby tank in the house. He's got some coral in it. It's all right.
Hey.
Stuff is this guy. We're just gonna ignore all of his comments, right? So that's kind of the topic that we wanted to discuss tonight was just sponsorships in general, the influencer world, how all of that kind of comes about, and how I kind of got involved in all of that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, coming up this week, we got a pretty big announcement. We got accepted into the BRS Reef Pack. Right? SkyHiggh Reef, not too bad. Right? So I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, it's bulk reef supply. You know what I mean?
No, that's it. That's the top of the food chain. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I've been a BRS. I mean, online world, in my opinion, and I'm not a big online shopper, to be honest. Okay. But lately I stepped it up a lot. Like, obviously, I don't think you have a choice at this point. Almost everything's kind of heading online.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can tell you, like, the few things throughout time that I have purchased online, it was BRS. I mean, they were in my eyes even since back in the days. They were like what I only knew was out there for like the Walmarts of the reef world. You know what I mean? Like, they are the go-to for
everything. Legit.
They're legit. They are.
So I think I should start off with, let's talk about because I don't want, I want to go about it the best way possible because, people have DM me and asked me questions and people saw me, I was really pushing the Team MD Marine Depot thing. I was very proud to be a part of Marine Depot, right? Any company that kind of reach out to me, thanks, gentlemen. Any company that kind of reaches out to me that feels like maybe I can bring something to the table, I'm happy about that and I'm really proud about that. Right?
You should, as you should be.
As I should be. Some people look at it and they say, oh, if you're sponsored this, if you're sponsored that, so there are people who look at it in a negative light. But I do think of myself, I am a hobbyist at first, you know what I mean? I don't try to make money off of the hobby, right? I don't pay my bills off of my reef tank. I have a regular day job, just like anybody else. And it's just a hobby. And for me, it's evolving in this way. There have been other companies that I've worked with that have sent me products, that have sent me care packages. But for the most part, usually the companies that reach out to me the most or that speak to me the most are companies that I already support, companies that I've already spent a lot of money with, companies that I've used for years. I used Aquaforce for years and years and years. And something you always say in your live streams, I was one of those people that you could reach out to about Aquaforce because I have been using Aquaforce for a long time. I've been posting about Aquaforce on Reef to Reef, on Instagram, you know, on all the different little forums, on Reef Centrals, on Nano Reefs,
Yep.
I was a person that people did reach out to for aquaforest, and rightfully so. Over time, you know, I got free food and I got discounts on equipment, and I got calendars. You know, I had an aquaforest calendar in my house for two
Wow.
years. Um, so, you know, people look at it in a negative light, but you know, I really like that brand. I really do like Aquaforest. I love the purple buckets. I love all of their equipment. Um, and I didn't really go out of my way to get them to send me anything or to get a discount on anything. It just happens naturally. I do believe there are some people who go out of their way to, you know, become an influencer, right? That's their goal, so to
Yeah.
speak, is, you know, I want to be an influencer. I want to be an influencer. For me, I just think for me, it's just a natural progression of the hobby for me.
Yeah. And just
So,
to clarify,
yep,
that's cool too. If that's the route you want to take, that's more power to you. But I mean, to your point, and I mean, I got to give you credit on that side. It's something I've really I know I've always kind of
what's up, West
lacked on
Coast?
that side of it, but you definitely opened me up to like just how to take it in a very natural approach to not
Yep,
something that you're like going in crazy. You've given me
yep.
some tips and tricks that maybe we can, you know, do it one day, maybe have a whole convo of that, and you can definitely run that piece of it, and I'll be a student on that one.
And even,
Um,
let me stop you there. Even on the tips and tricks part, I mean, I'm still growing, right? I'm still
yeah, of
evolving.
course.
I don't have 10,000 followers. I don't have 5,000 followers. I'm kind of still just like a regular guy.
Yeah,
You
West
know what I
Coast.
mean?
What's up, West Coast?
And there are some people out there, you know, I'll throw out from, you know, Marine Depot. Like I said, you know, I support what they did for me, and you know, the opportunity, so to speak, even to be granted an opportunity
A
to work
hundred
with them.
percent.
You look at Crabopolis, who's working with them, and that dude is awesome. He gives you tips, he gives me tricks, and his reels, you know, he posts a reel, and he's getting 5, 10,000 views on a reel, right? And I'm trying to do the same thing. So I think it's just growing naturally in the hobby, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think as one company notices you, other companies notice you, so on, so on, so on. Because I'm a pretty humble guy. I don't think I have the greatest reef tank there is on Instagram. West Coast is in here. His tank is way better than mine, right? The Arabian Reefer is in here. His tank is way better than mine. There are a lot of people, Zoa tanks, right? Their YouTube videos are way better than mine. Um, but I think I've kind of found that niche where I'm trying to get better at, right? Maybe I'm good at live streams. Maybe we have that natural rapport where we can make long format live streams about reef tanks seem normal, right?
Yeah.
So it's just finding that niche and just naturally doing it. I don't think I spam people. I don't think I go overboard with it. I think people see it and it's normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna close this door. My son's on the Call of Duty mode or
No
whatever
worries.
he's playing over there. I don't know what it is, but it's loud. Let me close this door real fast. And I got a response for you on that.
Lazy Coffee Design says, "Do whatever you want and whatever makes you happy. We always support." We appreciate that. I appreciate that because man, you know, some people may call it corny. Some people may think it's stupid. But for me to get an email from Bulk Reef Supply, you know what I mean, saying anything, that's an accomplishment, dude. When you have a reef tank,
Yeah,
that's
and
an accomplishment.
I'm gonna tell you, you're definitely. I no, I think you're just separating the package that you offer per se.
Okay.
I think one thing that's in, I mean, and look, I'll use this as a segue to thank everybody that's really showed love and good words and like
Yeah.
really given us like a lot of great feedback about these lives and the way we communicate to you guys. It's an amazing opportunity for us, for y'all to even spend minutes listening to us.
Yeah,
It
man.
means the world to us. We appreciate that.
We do.
But to segue on Des, um, you bring obviously your experience, your tank, which is beautiful, and I see what you're saying, and I feel the same way. I see some beautiful tanks out there, but the combination of the how realistic you are to the approach on the input you're giving people and how you're sharing it with people. It's a very, you're really not, you're transparent. I think the combination of all those things, and you're a great communicator to top it off. So I think the combination of all, I think it's a great approach to how you're taking everything, you know, the social media, because you're bringing all that into your social media side, the way you're kind of bringing that. And to your point, you know, we're both kind of growing on it. You're definitely ahead of the game on that side on it, but it's great for me because I can learn so much from you.
Well, I mean, let me stop you there. You say, you know, where you say ahead of the game. I don't really look at it as ahead of the game, right? And Zootank Boys, I don't know if you ever watched their YouTube videos. They're pretty good. Let me segue into this, right? I saw the Zootank Boys, you know, the guys that do it. I saw them at a frag swap once, and they were recording, they were doing their thing, and I was nervous to even speak to them. I looked at my wife and said, hey, I know who those two people are. I know who that guy is, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even say anything, and I saw them, and I could have introduced myself. I could have said hello. But I'm still kind of humble about it. Like,
yeah, no, I get you. And look, I'll let me, speaking of Zootanks, and I'm glad you brought it up because I saw their name pop up and I wanted to get back around to them. But I haven't had the pleasure of meeting them yet. I really look forward to it because before all the crazy species and all that, I've always been a Zoa guy. Yep. So coming onto the social media side, Zootank Boys caught my attention just off a title before I even saw a video. And this was a while back. I've been following them for a long time as far as their, not just their content, which is amazing, but their approach to it, their style. They're finding their own way of doing it. They're not copying anybody. It's so original. It's cool to our hobby, which is usually very not to offend you, very BRS, which I that it's there. I think it's 100% good to have BRS style videos there, and they are the GOATs for that, 100% when it comes to those videos. But these guys, I think you've definitely kind of molded in your version of what they do, which is that natural approach, that down to earth, our roots, if you can call it, you know?
Our normal way to do things, right?
Yeah, so much respect. And Abu, you are another one of our influences, brother. We definitely look up to you.
And so even like when speaking about that type of thing, I feel like I'm nowhere yet, really, right? When you watch my YouTube videos, I still have a lot of work to do. I still have to learn how to do production. I still have to learn how to make you know, make the sound effects and make the intros, right? You see, we do these live streams, but if you look at my YouTube videos, you've never seen me on camera, right? Because I'm not even sure of myself in that kind of way yet.
And understandable, which is, it's a common thing when you're getting into this, you know, especially you that I know you want to do it right, you know?
Yeah,
you want to get it right.
But I've gotten a good reception, right? I've gotten companies that have supported me. I've gotten a lot of people that, you know, real followers, real engagement. Not like you purchase followers and tomorrow I have 5,000 and no one ever writes to me, right? The people who write to me, the people who I talk to, I've been communicating with them for years over the tank of all of the tanks that I've had over the journey, right? When I post a YouTube video, the people who watch them, they're actually engaging with me. I know who the people are, right? And I think that's important as well. And for me, like I said, just to reach out to bulk reef supply and get a response, to me, that's crazy, right? How many times have I gone online and ordered something from bulk reef supply? How many times have I sat on my phone and watched a video from bulk reef supply? How many times have my wife is like, what are you watching? And I'm watching these dudes from bulk reef supply, thinking to myself, well, damn, how can I make my videos like these? How can I get on like these guys, right? How do I get a sponsorship? How do I get a company to send me something for free and I get to test it out and maybe I like it, maybe it ruins my reef? Because there's a lot of things that happen with taking on products that you don't know if they work or not, right? If you look at my last tank, which we'll call, look at my finger, bro, Jesus, uh, Project Black, the 90-gallon tank. I got a lot of listen, I got a lot of products for free while I had that tank, and that tank was never successful.
Wow.
Now, if you go back and you look at my posts and my stories, if you follow me, I never really posted ever that I got things for free, right? I never told anyone what I got for free. I never told anyone if it worked, if it didn't work. I didn't bring it up in any YouTube videos that I made. But that tank was not successful. It wasn't successful because every now and then someone would email me and be like, hey, you want something? And I'm like, yeah, why not? But then the next thing you know, you got 30 things plugged in down there and you don't know how any of them work. You're right. There's too many variables.
Yeah. And once again, I mean, look, I've always told myself I wanted to organically grow my Instagram and my social media. And I didn't really maybe understand what my version or definition of organic was to that state, because I'm starting to realize there's some things that you definitely have to push, which will make it something unorganic. And when I mean organic, I mean just going out of your way from the norm to kind of push that
brand, right?
The brand, the platform.
And that's why, and Louis, that's kind of why I was really interested in being a part of BRS. Although I'm very appreciative of Marine Depot, although I'm very appreciative of the opportunity in itself, I'm not a guy that really posts, I'm not the emoji guy, right? I'm not going to make a post and it has 700 emojis on it. And I'm not, not to discredit them or anything like that, because I do think it works. I think it's a flaw that I have, as opposed to something that's wrong with the way they're promoting their stuff.
Interesting.
If I want to get people to do an out test, I don't want to do a 5-day out test with, 700 pictures and there's a picture of me with a thumbs up. I'm not that guy. Like, the finger, right? I'm not that guy, dude. I'm not gonna post a picture of myself and it's on the YouTube and I'm #1 and there's emojis behind me. Are there people that do those? Absolutely. Are there people who do it very well? Absolutely. Are there people who it comes natural to post that picture thumbs up and it looks cool, like Inappropriate Reefer, and he has, you know what I mean? He has all type of things on the background and it looks super professional. Absolutely. Yeah. But that doesn't come natural to me. Right? And with Bulk Reef Supply, one of the things that when they reached out, what they said was, be you. Do what it is that you do. Whatever it is you bring to the table, bring it to the table. We're not going to tell you how to make a post. We're not going to tell you what type of things to repost. We're not going to tell you who to follow. Bulk Reef Supply said, listen, we're going to give you an opportunity, and what you do with that opportunity is what you do with it. Right? And for me, that's all I need. I'm the type of person that you open the door and it's in my blood. That's what I do.
Look, right? I'll be honest. I'm not surprised that that's the type of feedback you got from BRS, because even before you came on and this whole Reef Pack thing came about, which I think is a genius idea, they've always come across to me as a positive, solid company. Like, I feel comfortable shopping from them, and this is being brutally honest. This is not because that's another reason why I've always been hesitant towards sponsorships and stuff like that. Is because I did in the past tell myself that I would want to make lives and videos like this, and I wanted to be able to speak my mind without having to be biased towards a brand or a company, which one thing you brought up right now is be you. I think that's amazing that they're saying that. That gives me even more reason to shop with these guys. Like, those are the type of people we want to deal with. Transparency is huge in this hobby, in this industry. And to see that they're taking that approach and they're bringing people on like you, which I know it's good people, they definitely got a good eye, which is not surprising, to be honest.
Right. Part of it, too, when I look at it, is, let's just be honest, right? And West Coast says, welcome to the BRS Reef Pack. West Coast, I'm in great company. He's actually, you know, I don't want to break any news, but you know, I appreciate being there with them. Um, One of the things I really think about, I just go back in my mind and I think about how many times, I don't know if you've ever watched YouTube BRS, but they had 52 weeks of reefing. Like, I think it was like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. 52 weeks of reefing, and it followed one of their tanks that they have in the background always. And man, I watched that thing religiously. When I say religiously, like religiously. Um, the majority of any product I ever purchased came from bulk reef supply.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact. You know, when they do their contests on their live streams on YouTube, 9 times out of 10, if I saw the video, I went on their website and I put my email address in. Right? When I go to bulkresupply.com, it says "Welcome Desmond." Like, I've been there before. So to me, it's kind of crazy. Like, I'm sure there's people that are. This is what they do. They're professionals at it, right? Um, I'm at stage one. I believe I'm one of those people. I'm at stage one. You know, I like to use my job as an analogy. I know, you know, you're a guy like me, so Kanye West, right? He has a line where he says, one week he was washing the dishes, the next week it was the fries, right? And to me, some people don't catch that. I know what that means, right?
Oh
It's
yeah.
progression, it's the evolution. It's what are we doing, right? What are we here for? So for me, I'm at that level one. I'm at that dishwashing level. Like, when you look at the company that I'm in, the other people that are in the BRS Reef Pack, when you look at the type of company BRS is and the quality of YouTube videos, the quality of information that they put in, I'm so low, you know, on the totem pole, it's ridiculous that I'm even here.
I disagree.
But here's the thing. That's the blessing in the disguise.
I
Because I think
disagree.
you disagree? Tell me why.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
I think it's all perspective. I think you definitely got very you've been in the hobby long enough where you're comfortable in it, and you definitely have so much perspective because you're in it. You know what's going on. You're following people. You're looking at tanks, but in all reality, like, you've knocked out so many barriers. Like, there's so many things that you've accomplished that a lot of people haven't accomplished. And I think there's, like, it's like a scale of different things, and there's some things we rate higher at, and some things we'll rate lower at. Like, I
Hold
think
on,
I'm very good.
really quick, and I want you to get right back to what you're saying. But I just
Okay.
want to stop. Wave Reefer says, "So what is this live about BRS?" It's not. This is not about BRS at all. This is about me and the journey and what I think about the evolution of where I'm at in the hobby.
Hi,
The
Fishionista. How
opportunity,
are you?
the opportunity wave to work with Marine Depot, the opportunity to work with Aquaforest, the opportunity to work with Coral View, the opportunity to work with Bulk Reef Supply. Um, you know, that's just the evolution of the hobby for me. So this is not about BRS. We're talking about myself. We're talking about my journey. We're talking about, you know, what do I think about being sponsored by a company, or what do I? It's not a sponsorship, right? Because it can end. A sponsorship means I gave you something for free and you don't have to do anything in return. No, if I want to be a part of a company, and forget about bulk reef supply, if I want to be a part of a company in general, you have to bring your fair share. What company you choose, you know, what you want to do with the hobby. Some dudes like Reef X, you know what I mean? They sell coral, and it's not his day job. It's not what he does for a living. It's his hobby that evolved into something else. This is my hobby that's evolving into something else. What opportunities I take are dependent upon me. What I bring to the table, what I do with it long term, those are things that are on me. So
Yep.
it's not about BRS.
Yeah, and Wave
It's about the
Reefer.
evolution of a hobby, right? The
Yeah, and Wave
evolution of
Reefer.
the hobby.
Yeah, and look, this is a shorter version of what we're trying to accomplish here. So we usually set up multiple topics to discuss the good stuff. But Wave, going forward in some of these lives, I mean, it's still gonna be the style of flow that we are trying to accomplish, which is a very natural and honest and transparent flow. So the conversations are gonna sway sometimes. So forgive us in advance. At least I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
But we're definitely gonna be touching on subjects and segueing onto others, and I think
Right.
that's the
We
beauty
just
of these
wanted to be
lives.
fair, and myself personally to Marine Depot, right? I want to be fair to Marine Depot. I don't want to be disrespectful to them because they provided me an opportunity, and other people have provided me an opportunity. So to Wave, it's not about. This is not about BRS. I think what me and Lewis are talking about is the evolution of the hobby. The
Yeah,
hobby, any hobby in general, can evolve in many different ways, right?
yeah,
Um, if you're into race cars, right, the literal remote control race cars, maybe you evolve in a way where you like to build them and then you sell them. Maybe you evolve into the way where you want to race them. Maybe you evolve into the way where you make YouTube videos about your little Traxxas truck driving in the dirt in your backyard.
yeah.
Um,
And Marine, look, Marine Depot it's a huge company. It's not
it's a
going
huge company.
anywhere. They're not.
Nope.
They're like nothing's gonna like change. They're still gonna kick butt, be great. They're a great company. Not to discount them, but
Right.
BRS is a great move, and it's a move you decided to do. And I guess now that we've kind of laid the groundwork, I can tell you one thing I thought about when I heard about it, and it was like a joke to me. Like I laughed about it. I don't know if you remember the skit of Dave Chappelle when he like the Coke and Pepsi.
Okay. Yeah. That's
That's
what's
all.
going on.
I I
Right? It's the
used to.
same thing. It's the same thing. Listen,
That's
all
the.
right. So here, I'll take your joke even farther. Right? I grew up with a lot of Cuban people. Right? And I got a friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but his dad used to have cases of fucking Pepsi in the house. Right? I'm talking about cases. This is what we drink. This is what we drink. We're not drink Pepsi Cola. So, to that, it's the Reef experience, right? That's what me and you're trying to do. That's what we're building on, right? The Reef experience. For me, the experience is these companies, I don't know, they like me. They think I'm cool, right? But for me, I'm going to capitalize off of every opportunity. Whatever opportunity I get in life, I'm going to make the most of it, period. Um, if bulk
And
resupply
let's
thinks
be
that,
real. And
yeah, go ahead.
let's be realistic. I mean, their approach with BRS, with the Reef Pack, to No Surprises, to also be able to expand their horizons, not only brand wise, but financially. Let's be realistic. I
Well,
mean, and
so
that's fair game. That's fair
you
game.
that's fair game, right? So I know you guys see me, I'm back here, I'm drinking and I'm smoking SkyHiggh Reef and all of that, but I do have a day job, right? I am a general manager of a business, right? And not a small business. I have a lot of employees. I'm not a guy who just drinks and smokes in his backyard, right? I'm off. So did it take a major investment for bulk resupply to do this kind of thing? Does it take other companies an investment, a capital investment, right? This is not money that they have. This is money that they could use to invest in other parts of their company. Maybe to bring in a new product, to do this, to do that. Bulk resupply doesn't need SkyHiggh Reef. That's a fact. What bulk resupply, I think, what all of these companies are trying to do, they're trying to build on the momentum of social media. How do we grow with people who have a fan base? I don't want to say I have a fan base, but
You do. That's
but
why they got you.
I got 1,500 followers, right? Um, there's people who have way more followers than me. But then you got to think, when you see that dude with 10,000 followers on his fish tank, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm transparent. You really got 10,000 people following you on your fish tank? Let's just, who are these people? Where do they come from? Right? And will they click the link in your bio? Right? If you got 10,000 people following you on your fish tank, can you sell a t-shirt? You'd be rich. You wouldn't have a day job. If you got 10,000 followers and you own your own company and you have your own merchandise and you got your frag racks and you got this and you got that, you wouldn't work a day job. And that's a fact, because those 10,000 core followers will support you, right? And if you sell something for $19.99, they're going to buy it. And if you have a 3D, those 3D makers, and you got a link in your bio for your frag racks, they're going to buy it. Because out of those 10,000 people, 1,000 people are going to be willing to spend $9.99 with you. Because they're core followers, they're real people. But a lot of times, bro, all those followers, hey, Lewis, a lot of times all those followers are bullshit. That's a fact. Right? And you see the people, and they got all of these corals, and they got capital backing them, right? I always tell people with reef tanks, and I like to be transparent, right? My views on the reef experience, as we call it. There's a lot of people in this hobby. I wouldn't say any of us are broke people, right? People who have reef tanks usually got a job. People who have reef tanks usually have, they're single people, but they got their shit together because it's an expense. And it's an unnecessary expense. It's a hobby, right? So people who have a hobby, they got an extra $10 in the bank. I mean, that's a fact. In my opinion, are there random people who do it for the love? Yes. But for the most part, Radions cost, an XR30 costs $180, it's almost $900. So you're going to tell me you're willing to spend $1,000 on a light, but you're broke? You're not broke, right? So you have the money to buy all of the fancy corals. You have the money to buy the followers. But long term, where is that going to get you? Are they real? Are they engaging? You see people who have 5,000 followers but have 100 likes. Mathematically, that ratio is way off. You know what I'm saying? You see someone that has 5,000 followers but only follows 800 people, that mathematics is way off. You see people who have 1,000 followers but only have 5 people in their live stream, 50 people in their live stream, the mathematics there is way off, right? So you don't have a real core following.
Yeah, and I saw, and look, that's one of the to your point, there's definitely, that's one of the advantages of and why I decided to take the business side of it is because I saw that my audience and my customer base, for the most part, was in a decent financial state.
Yep.
And to your point, that perspective varies. I mean, everybody has a different perspective of what well off is. But to your point, I think if you can afford a torch, you can't really, you know what I mean? No, even if it's a $200, $150
a torch can
torch.
pay. Listen,
I'm not saying $1,000 holy grail.
Forget about it. One torch, a dragon soul, is your light bill. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So, I just feel like when it comes to sponsorship, when it comes to influencing, who are you really following? Because that's what we're talking about. To the Wave Reefer, it's not about bulk resupply. It's about sponsorships. It's about who's following you. What are they engaging?
Engagement. Good word. That's the key word. Engagement.
Doesn't matter if I'm with the BRS Reef Pack if no one ever clicks the links and uses my code, right? Doesn't matter if I'm in the BRS Reef Pack if I get, X product and I don't do Y with it, right? It doesn't matter if I'm sponsored by any company, period, and I don't capitalize off of that opportunity. It doesn't matter. So it depends on what you do with what you got. Some people go ahead.
Arabia Reefer is on here, and when I first came on to the social media side, before me and you even started communicating,
his tank is way better than mine.
No, his tank is one of those, like, if you had like a magazine and there was like a section for like world's nicest tanks, like he deserves to be in that grid of pictures. You know
So
what I mean? Like that
in the
is one of
chat
the most
in
amazing
the
tanks
chat
I've seen.
he has a joke in the chat where he says, you know, call me Young Saxby or some shit like that, right? But it goes to the thing. I don't know who David Saxby is, but I've heard of David Saxby. I know that he has a aqua illumination setting for the Saxby setting, right? I know you could Google Saxby and you're gonna get something as far as reef tanks are concerned. But it just goes that his tank is that good, right?
But here's the thing. Like and I think we also have got comfortable in the fact that we've had the luxury and the honor of being behind the scenes with him through private conversations, chat room conversations. We really know Abu the Arabian Reefer really well. But a lot of people can see the tank and it is obvious whether, like right now, let's pretend we don't know him. We swipe through, we see that tank, we're going to stop and look. It's one of those showstoppers. But
it's a fact.
But I appreciate more, not that not to underappreciate the tank, but I appreciate more his process, his transparency, his love. I mean, he's a jokester, so sometimes people can misconstrue. I mean, and that goes to like the personality of humans, and like even corals have a sense of.
Lewis, it's what we call. It's what me and you are calling the reef experience.
100%.
It's the experience. 100%. Listen, it's different for everyone, right? It's different for everyone. What everyone does with it, what everyone brings to the table, is different. For me, I want to grow in the area of making podcasts, of doing live streams, of doing YouTube videos. It doesn't matter whether or not I grow an SBS colony or not. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Right. Any frag that's out there, 9 times out of 10, if I talk with my wife, I can order it. Period. Right. We're not starving over here, so it's about the experience. What do I want from the hobby? What do I want to do in my hobby? How do I want to grow in my hobby? You know what I mean? For me, I want to make YouTube videos. For me, I want to be, you know, I don't know if you watch, I always say, you know, into YouTube, but, you know, for me, reefing, a lot of the things I learned from reefing, a lot of the things I tried came from YouTube. Watching CJ's Aquarium. I don't know if you ever watched CJ's Aquarium, right? But he has a coffee cup. He has a smooth voice. You never see him. Every now and then you see him, but just the talk, the cadence, the tone of voice, right? And if you watch my videos, that's what you see in it, right? You don't see me, but I kind of have the voice a little bit.
But no, you definitely have the voice. But
I got
one thing
the
I'm going to
voice
tell
for
you
it.
that changes today. That changes today because you definitely. One thing I noticed when I did my first. This was before we even did the reef experience. When I literally just jumped on and spoke on the holy water that one time where I kind of broke the ice to do this, I noticed that like my views on that video went berserk, even compared to others. I think my thought process on why that was, obviously it was in my opinion and what I heard from others, it was a great video. But I think the fact that people saw a face in a room full of corals, because like usually like our scrolls are all corals, and corals, like to your point, tanks and corals.
Right?
And
you don't see us. You don't know
you don't
who
see
that person
faces.
is.
Yes.
You don't know who that is. So now here, and I'm going to give you my hot take of the night, right? Are you ready for the hot take of the night?
Let's do it.
Okay, so transparency, the reef experience. For me, a lot of times when I go into the LFS, right, the live fish store, there's not a lot of people who look like me.
Okay.
You don't walk into the fish store and you see a whole bunch of black dudes. You don't.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
When you go on YouTube, you don't see a whole bunch of black dudes doing, you know, YouTube videos, doing, you know, you just don't.
Interesting. Good. Okay, I see where you're going.
Okay. So and that's just from my opinion, and that's just my opinion.
No, you could,
right?
you're definitely
Um,
on to. I could see why you would say
I
that.
don't see it. When you go to a frag swap, there's not a lot of us in the room. When you go, if you go to Reefapalooza, there's not a lot of us in the room, right? Because it is a niche hobby for that community, so to speak. To West Coast Reefers' point, he said facts, right? So for me, I look at CJ's Reef. I look at Jake Carey. I look at he's in here. I look at West Coast Reefer. I look at Greg Carroll. I look at DC Reefer. I kind of look at them, right? I kind of look at them a little bit different because I bet there's a lot of people like me that are out there that you don't see.
Yeah, no,
I bet there's a lot of people like Terrell. Like look at Terrell in the chat. We have 250 people in the chat. And let's just be honest, in Reef and Chill, it's me and Terrell. Out of 258 people, it's us. It's just me and him. So, when I go live, I still feel a little bit of, I don't want to say scared, because I'm not scared. For whatever reason, I'm not scared on Instagram. I'll do it, right? But when I go on YouTube and I make my YouTube videos, I just feel, I don't know. I feel kind of weird about it. I watch DC Reefer. If you watch DC Reefer video, he's fucking awesome. He kills it. He doesn't care, right? I look at Tom Reefman. They don't care, but I'm still at that point to me where I'm in a small group. You know what I mean?
Look, I'll break it. You killed this hot take. I think this is gonna make this video because this is a great.
And I don't
topic.
mean no disrespect to anyone. I'm just giving my view on it.
But this is a great point because let me explain something to you. You're looking at it from your perspective, which is totally understandable. But something I was noticing today, is we're starting to see more women getting involved in the hobby. More minorities in like Hispanic. Yo soy cubano. ¿Me entiendes? So un Latino in the hobby. And granted, if I didn't say it, I could probably go as just an ordinary white guy.
No,
right?
we know. I know.
But ultimately, to your point, I think that's even more of a reason for you to go out there because look, you put before we even did these lives, I think BRS or I don't know who did like a little 4-question thing that you reposted, and I remember your answer on the role model, and it was G Carroll. And I knew obviously it was you can definitely relate to him, but the guy, in my opinion, I mean, aside from color, aside from whatever you want to name, because I think he's just such a great speaker. Naturally, no matter what, like he's one of my idols. So when I saw you say that, I remembered that because I definitely
that was a Marine Depot post.
And you really start getting into these guys more and more when you're starting to do these lives and being a communicator that now you have to like rub off of certain people. And I'm honored to be able to do it with you. I think we've gotten the feedback that we work well together. And I think like
for sure.
I think the diversity in all angles in the way we approach.
Hold on, wait, Lewis.
Yeah.
So we got some live action in the comments, right? The Arabian Reefer says more rare to find an Arab in the hobby though, right? And then right under it, we got someone watching El Jarin. He says, I'm an Arab in the hobby. That makes 2 of us. So and that goes to my point of showing like, right? You don't know who's there, right? You don't know who's out there. You don't know. You really don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Analytics. I don't have 10,000 followers, right? So I don't have analytics to tell me who's watching my videos, who's doing this, who's doing that. So I'm kind of just going with what I know, right? I'm kind of just trying to take it as naturally as possible. I do want to take advantage of the opportunity to grow. Right? If I'm going to work with bulk resupply, and I look at bulk resupply as industry leaders, and I look at bulk resupply and I say, damn, I've been watching Ryan's video. I know who Ryan is. I don't care if who knows who Ryan is, right? I know who Randy from bulk resupply is. And if these people believe that I'm good enough to be a part of their company, then I have to do my part with whatever they offer me to bring something to the table, right? Because I don't believe in not bringing something to the table. You got to bring something to the table.
You delivering today?
It doesn't matter if it's this much.
This is
Listen. I tell people that work for me, I only need you to do this much. Because if you do this much and we all do this much, it's going to take us a distance, period.
Yep.
If I do this much and you do this much, then the guy who does this much is going to feel some type of way about you. But if we all just chill and do our part and do what we're good at, then it's going to take us a distance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
That's just kind of how I go about it. I mean, you know, it's not about being an influencer. It's fucking bulk resupply. I know bulk resupply doesn't need me, but I also know bulk resupply emailed me. I also know, right? I also know I accepted. I also know that I took my little fish tank in my house that my wife bought me years ago, and I told her, hey, man, I'm going to take care of it, and I capitalized off of it. You can't knock me for that, right? You can't knock me for one company or that company. I feel like you got to big me up because I make it happen.
Hey,
you know?
Hey, look, I do
it with no disrespect. I'm gonna tell you, and maybe this is my hot take before we start wrapping up, because I definitely might have a date night coming up that I'm a little late to. Okay.
But it's such a good conversation that I definitely want to keep it going. I think going into like the whole BRS and kind of seeing that involvement that they're producing, it definitely excites me in the sense that like we are now in a position to grow exponentially through these never expected opportunities. I mean, and I've known you, Des, for a while. I mean, I think we've definitely gotten closer through the last few months, but even towards the beginning, we were very transparent. I don't think you could have guessed, you know, you were going to be Team BRS a few months ago. And I mean,
Team anything.
I mean, so just the fact that we're getting these opportunities, and I always wanted organic growth.
Lewis, listen to me, Lewis. I've had a company, right, that sponsors me. And when I say sponsored, I don't want to say sponsored. I have a company that supports me and works with me, Coral View, for years. Up until recently, I've started telling people, right? Up until recently, I've been offering people opportunities. Up until recently, I've even brought it to the light. So for me, it's just like, it's not about, you know, this live stream was supposed to be about sponsorship and influencing.
And it's been just that, in my opinion.
Right?
I think we nailed it.
Right? To me, it's about just being you, right? Doing what you like, evolving as you evolve. I'm the type of person, dude, I'm an introvert as far as I'm concerned. I'm cool with people, but I don't talk to people I don't know.
Of course.
I don't go on live streams and talk for an hour. I've never in my life. You know, there's no pictures of me at a prom. There's no pictures of me in middle school. You know what I mean? I'm not that
I'm the same way.
I'm not that outgoing of a person. I'm really not that outgoing. This is me trying.
Yeah.
This is me evolving naturally as things go.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it. You know what I mean?
I'm
proud of it.
And that's why once again, I think that's why we work so well, because we have so many common things in common without really.
What's up, Naked Dog? Hey, Naked Dog joins us every single time.
Hey, much love to you, man. We appreciate all of you, man. Abu.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, we're in Pride Month too, and there was like we're talking about like certain breakdowns, and even look, with the gay community is very involved now. Like we have a lot of people in here, so that. But look, a smart business. let's be real. A smart business has to understand what's happening as an industry. If you're trying to be in an industry, and I was trying to be organic for two reasons. A, because I wanted that true, be able to say that my movement, my engagement is real, it's legit, because I saw those
Frags and Dab, Michelle.
Entered at the right time. Hey, look, and
That's
I had you in mind too with that. And we've had you got to go back and watch this video because
that's the experience. We're evolving. We're growing. This is not about getting sponsored and getting free shit.
Yeah,
this is about the evolution of every person.
100%.
This is about the evolution. It's about, you know. Listen, man. I just want anyone that, and I just want to reiterate this for anyone that goes back. And I don't want to cut you off or anything like that, but. Man, before I ever got an email from Bulk Reef Supply, I watched all their fucking videos.
Me too.
I ordered mad shit from Bulk Reef Supply. I am a fan. I fuck with Bulk Reef Supply. I like it. If you go upstairs, my wife gets emails from Bulk Reef Supply. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to be clear that there was no disrespect to Marine Depot. I didn't switch from Team MD to Bulk Reef Supply. There was no poaching. This was me. I saw Bulk Reef Supply post BRS Reef Pack. They had one post, and I clicked the link in the bio. Right? Because I wanted to try. Who knows? You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know.
Look what happened.
And look what happened. They emailed me back.
Look, one thing about this, guys, and this is another thing that goes about this hobby, and I'm going to be real, going back to where I was going with the organic part.
Naked, I got a job too, I promise. Look at my finger. I'm not the chef. I'm not the kitchen manager.
Hey, but one thing that I noticed, like, when I got into the business, you got to remember, if you're a hobbyist, let's clarify, when you're a hobbyist, you're still technically in the business because you're buying things. You're part of it. You're just a customer.
Yep. You're part of the ecosystem. You're part of the
You're part of the ecosystem. I've been in the hobby for a long time, and I just started the business a few years back. So if you know math, you know that there was few years where I was up here customer.
Yeah.
When I was a customer, I went through so many A, bullshitters, B, bullshit, C, assholes, D, delinquents. There's everything like there is in every business. So I told myself before the social media came out, before anything came out, is that I was just going to be as real as I can possibly be, deliver the best I could possibly deliver, and just be as transparent as I can possibly be. And that way, you can't bullshit on people. People can't come to me. And that's developed me a lot of haters, a lot of bullshit, a lot of down. But the one thing that none of those people have been able to accomplish is to be able to discredit me. Why? Because from day one, I did exactly what I came in with that intent, which was be real, be transparent, be honest, help where I can. I think that's part of the hobby, and that's not on the business side, because I think help on the business side is customer service. Help on the hobbyist side is just being a fellow good hobbyist. So I think if I do it when I'm helping somebody, I'm not picking what side it's coming from. I'm just helping. Eventually, it might turn into a business point, which I love and I appreciate, and thanks to all that have supported. Yeah. But in my sense, I was like, there's a way to do this without having to screw anybody over. And I think BRS is the pinnacle and the Mount Rushmore of that analogy, because they have always, I mean, guys, let's be real. Those videos, they don't have to do them. They don't. And they're probably getting more expensive because they're running these tests with 6 tanks and this and that. They don't have to do none of that shit. And they do it because they want to help. They know they can help somebody along the way, and they're going to sell some product while they're at it. And I think both are fair. Both are fair.
Naked Dog wrote a comment. He wrote, my system got best of everything, and I busted my ass for all of it, right? So here's my answer to that question. My system almost has the best of everything, and I busted my ass for all of it. Right? I go to work every day. But here's the thing to it. if I can evolve my hobby in a way that I can support a company that supports me and it benefits me, then why not? Because if it benefits me, it benefits them. If I help them, they help me. And if they help me, it helps my reef. And if my hobby evolves through that relationship, then what's wrong with that?
It kind of goes in line with last conversation when I was talking about the aquaculture license, and I told you, like, obviously I got the aquaculture license because I wanted it, but behind that there was a pre-conscious, I wanted the journey. I think that's part of this hobby. I think you just entered a journey. You are experimenting with new horizons, and I think we all should. If we get the opportunity, why turn it down? Pride gets in the way for a lot of people. There's a lot of pride in this hobby. Like, you're too good, you're too bad, you're too cool. Like, screw that shit. If you have an opportunity that's solid, positive,
grow with it.
Why would you? There is no pride in the world that should push you away from solid, good opportunities, man. And now with that being said, not to discredit all of us, because we all, most of us can say we came out the mud. And the Arabian Reefer, guys, let me explain. And he has a beautiful tank, and blessings. He has a beautiful home, and blessings. He has a beautiful family. But don't discredit the fact that behind the scenes, we know this man is busting his ass.
He's working. He's at work every day.
He is working. He deserves every little donut on that ground. He deserves it because he busts his ass for it. And if you want an Acanto, get to work. Get to work. We all doing that shit. Look, show him your finger, Des. Show him your finger. Show him your finger. That's in the workplace. That was during the hustle, just to be able to grow. So, hey, and all of us are on the same boat. I mean, some of us are more fortunate than others.
Nah, it's true. Like you say, look at my finger, right? I work in a restaurant. I almost lost it today. You know, so, you know, I do my thing. I'm a general manager. I schedule myself 6 days this week. I took 1 day off. So I bust my ass for it. I work hard. And,
we're blessed.
And through the reef experience, so to speak, it's evolving. And for me, it's just evolving in a different way.
100%.
You know,
for all of us, for all of us, for all of us.
Some people sell frags. Some people make YouTube videos. Some people get a job at the LFS. Some people never post their tanks like Phil, and nobody ever knows. We evolve in different ways, and it's a hobby, and I'm just evolving in the hobby. And for me, BRS fucking email me. What do you want me to do?
Hey.
What do you want me to do?
So not
say yeah.
We got G Carroll, we got SkyHiggh, we got West Coast, man. Guys in here, once again, we appreciate y'all joining. We appreciate y'all always showing love. We appreciate y'all hitting us up. I'm at 850 followers, so I'm 150 shy from my Reef Pack introduction. Hey, that's work.
That's work.
Chef in New York making that money, man. That's a hustler right there. That man's always giving positive vibes to people. That man's a blessing. That man's a blessing right there. And there's a lot of good ones in the hobby, and we got to show them love. And that's going to be part of this live right here.
That's what we do.
If y'all don't like it, y'all can get out, because we ain't going to stop showing love. We ain't going to stop showing positivity. We're going to stay doing this in the best possible way. Just to be able to deliver this vibe. I mean, somebody put this as the vibe they like, and I mean, that's what me and Des, I think, that's why we're good at it, because we like what we're doing. We enjoy this. That's why we want to grow it. To Des's point, I can second that. This wasn't a plan of mine. I just know I'm a very good speaker. I love conversation. I love honest conversation. Des, I felt the same way, and we did one thing that a lot of people sometimes are afraid to do, which is just do it. We just went live, guys. We tried it one time. We got good feedback. We ain't planning to stop. We ain't planning to stop. And look, we're still getting a feel for it, so we're not inviting other people yet. But that's the goal ultimately. Like, we would love to have Arab on here once he feels comfortable with it. We, like Des brought up the point, like, you know, he definitely, it took him a little bit to get comfortable with it. And to me, to myself, I mean, I can say the same in a way, because, and the first time I did it with in complete black. So I didn't even know what I looked like. Well, how was I making dumb faces? But I ran with it.
Hey, listen, Louis, our first stream, you couldn't even see me the whole time. and we still killed it.
100%.
And listen, look, I'm looking at myself. I don't like my haircut. I need to shave. My finger, look at my finger, bro.
But you know, what I'll tell you what I love about it. There's this, you could tell this is raw and uncut. This, and I think that's what this is gonna. That's what's gonna grow this room. The fact that between the raw and uncut, there's passion, there's truth, there's honesty, there's positivity, but it ultimately is still raw and uncut. So if we say something wrong, kind of like that Joe Rogan vibe, like we can't go back on it. This is real.
Yeah.
It happened. If we fuck up, we're gonna say we fucked up, and we'll come back around.
We'll move on.
We're human.
But I will tell you, for Father's Day, since it's Father's Day weekend, you know what my wife did for me? She ordered for me a cabinet for me to put. So I got the 2 tanks, right? I got the Lagoon, and then I got the 25. I got the 5-gallon frag tank that our Arab laughed at. I'm not gonna fuck with you because you laughed at me, but it's gonna be fancy because we both resupply. You feel me? So we're gonna get that thing right. You feel me? 5-gallon frag tank is gonna be the rawest they ever seen. But my wife ordered me a whole desk where I can put all my stuff in between the two. And then she ordered me an LED light that says SkyHiggh Reef. So that way I can set up my live streams. And now it looks like I got a studio. You feel me? Because I'm going to have the tanks. No more backyard barbecue. I got the light, SkyHiggh Reef. I got the 2 tanks. You feel me? And they're going to have to hate on it.
Des.
Hey, listen, they're going to have to hate on it because we're going up. With the 1 finger. You feel me? We're going up.
Hey. But look, we gotta look. I mean, we'll sum it up with this.
Yeah, man.
We'll sum it up with this. Happy Father's Day to all the dad reefers out there, all the parents out there, and I mean, even though it's Father's Day, you just brought up a point. Like a lot of the women out there that are reefing, and even the women in our lives that are not directly in the hobby, but they're starting to. I mean, not starting. They probably have been, but they're supporting what we do, our craziness, our madness. I mean, just to see that they're willing to vibe and support and do these little. I know how much that means to you. That just those little details mean the world to us. So we got to show love to the women out there that make it good for my wife's been a blessing on that side. And it was a time where she wasn't as involved before, and she grew into it. And I think that's just inhuman, because there was times I got out of the hobby in between. So like, you can't expect that growth to be completely always in line with ours, but just the fact that when they see our passion, they're willing to support us and drive us and help us, that you can't ask for more.
You can't ask for more than that.
To all the fathers, man, blessings. To all the mothers, blessings. To all of you,
blessings. Cheers to the fathers and the mothers.
From Miami, we love y'all. Des,
yeah, man.
Happy Father's Day, man. I'm glad we were able
Father's
to do this.
Day, bro.
Let's do it again.
Next week,
Bye,
sir.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.